So we've got new hairstyles and maternity flight suits. Pregnant women are going to fight our wars. It's a mockery of the U.S. military. While China's military becomes more masculine as it's assembled the world's largest navy, our military needs to become, as Joe Biden says, more feminine, whatever feminine means anymore, since men and women no longer exist. The bottom line is it's out of control, and the Pentagon's going along with this. Again, this is a mockery of the U.S. military and its core mission, which is winning wars.
I shouldn't be surprised at this. This coming from someone like Tucker Carlson, a man who's jockeying for the first position of Klansman, Grand Cyclops or Grand Wizard or whatever the crap they call in the Ku Klux Klan. This bigotry towards female service members when he was trying to create the boogeyman of the Chinese Navy. Well, I got a few things to say. Well, actually, a few things I want to repeat from some people who understand this a little bit more. People who have or are currently serving in the United States military. One of them, the new Secretary of Defense, General Lloyd Austin. In a statement from the Pentagon, from spokesman John Kirby, says, the Secretary certainly shares the revulsion of so many others to what Mr. Carlson said. We pledge to do better, and we will. What we will absolutely not do is to take personal advice from a talk show host or the Chinese military. Maybe those folks feel like they have something to prove. That's on them, unquote. But it goes even further. The Sergeant Major of the United States Army, Michael Grinson, said on Twitter, women lead the most lethal units with character. They will dominate any future battlefield we're called to fight on. Tucker Carlson's words are divisive and don't reflect our values. We have the most professional, educated, agile, strongest NCO, or non-commissioned officer, corps in the world. General Paul Funk, commanding officer of the U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command, and also said that thousands of women serve honorably every day around the globe. They are beacons of freedom, and they prove Carlson wrong through determination and dedication. We are fortunate to serve with they serve with us. But one of the best responses to this came from this man, the senior enlisted leader of the United States Space Command, Marine Corps Master Gunnery Sergeant Scott H. Skelker. This is what he said.
Drama TV. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I call it. I'll apologize up front and tell you that I don't have cable news at home. I don't have it here in the office, and I don't watch a lot of drama TV. I understand some comments were made yesterday, and I watched the clip that Mr. Carlson produced as he referred to pregnant women in the military. I'll remind everyone that his opinion, which he has a right to, is based off of actually 0 days of service in the armed forces. Let me offer you my opinion. My opinion is based off of 28 years of actual service in the military, 28 years in the Marine Corps, in combat operations out at sea and in garrison. And so he was talking specifically about pregnant women in the armed forces today and how it makes us less lethal and less fit and less ready. Let me tell you where he's wrong. Those decisions were made by medical professionals, by commanders, and our civilian leadership that allows for women to have more time with their children, to recuperate, to get fit and ready, to take that time that's necessary that our medical professionals know is needed, which actually makes us a more lethal and ready and fit force, ready to fight the wars of today and the wars of tomorrow. The bottom line is that we value women in our armed forces. We value those that have served in the past, and we value those that have served today. We value our families in the military. I want to say God bless everyone that is serving today. God bless the women that are serving today. God bless the men and women that are serving today. God bless our country, our partners, and our allies. Let's get back to work. Let's remember that those opinions were made by an individual who has never served a day in his life. Let's remember that's all about drama TV. God bless America. Semper Fidelis.
This from a man who's had family members, specifically his father, serve in the United States military, who's had long friends who have served in the U.S. military, who himself wanted to serve in the United States military, who understands the honor and privilege and sacrifice of serving in the United States military, as a man who understands the history of people who served in the United States military from past and present. I have to say, in my humble opinion, that the comments that Tucker Carlson made reek of bigotry. Now, I'm just being PG here because you don't want to see the X-rated version of me say what Tucker Carlson said. You know what? I'm going to just let it out. He's a fucking bigot. I'm just going to just say it the way it needs to be said so everyone is a little stick. I cannot believe a man who says he loves America, he loves our country, the same way that so many of these right-wing nut jobs keep saying they do. And this is how you show it? By disrespecting people who serve in our military just because they happen to be of the female gender? Because they happen to get pregnant? 2 years ago, I went with my family to Washington, D.C. The last day we were there, we took a guided tour of Arlington National Cemetery. That to me is holy ground. Tucker Carlson, don't even look at that place. Because after this little BS you pulled today, that shows to me that you have no respect for our military. And this is not different at all from the comments that have gone through history, the history of this country, when it comes to African Americans or Asians or Mexican or Latinos or any other race other than white men serving in our country. You created this boogeyman of the Chinese Navy because you think it's going to help you. It's going to help Donald Trump. Let me put it that way, because we all know whose master has your chain around your throat. Maybe money is the chief motivation for you, Tucker. But honestly, it's pretty pathetic in my view. Why would you insult our nation's military just because the soldier next to them happens to be a woman? Why would you do that? Unless you're showing yourself to be a bigot, which you are. What really bothers me about this is that this is a smack in the face of every man and woman throughout this country's history, all of this country's history, that have shed blood and died for God and country. Now, you have a problem with Joe Biden and how the Chinese military, whatever the boogeyman you created is, that's your problem. But don't drag our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, reserves, and National Guardsmen down the mud because you can't find the courage in yourself to sign up. And you know who else didn't have the courage to sign up? Donald Trump. Not because he didn't believe in the Vietnam War, not because he fought against the United States government, because he felt the war was wrong, because he was, like you, a coward. Only a coward would actually say something this destructive, just like Donald Trump said about John McCain, a Vietnam veteran, U.S. naval aviator. That is the definition of a coward. And as the Sergeant Major before me said, your comments are coming from a person who had zero respect or zero experience in the military. Now I know some guy out there is gonna say, Clifford, you never served in the military either. How could you say it? How could you say anything about it? 2 reasons. 1, my father served in the military. I'm an Army brat, in case you haven't noticed. 2, and yes, I'm going to throw my high school life in there. I was in the Army ROTC when I was in high school. My high school was only a hop, skip, and a jump away from Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And I met a lot of soldiers in the years I was there. I understand the sacrifices, male and female. So I have none but the greatest honor and respect for our military. But I don't use it as some kind of, I don't use my 4 years in high school being in JROTC as some kind of crutch like someone else I know. Donnie. See, I have none but the greatest respect for every single military veteran, male and female, that shed blood for this country, that wore our country's colors. It's just too damn bad that a self-professed patriot like you, Tucker Carlson, doesn't. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.